The tropics are heating up. Good evening, I'm Mike Nasa with this Thursday evening update on the tropics. Gabrielle is no longer a hurricane, but it's causing problems way up here over the Azores with high seas, gusty winds, and heavy rain. Umberto is strengthening almost a hurricane, a strong tropical storm, and it is forecast to become a major hurricane of Category 3 strength and head towards the area between Bermuda and the Outer Banks. And then we have Invest 94L over the areas there of the Greater Antilles, the Dominican Republic, the island nations of the Dominican Republic and Haiti over Hispaniola, looking a little bit better today and more likely to develop and head towards the Turks, Caicos, Bahamas, and potentially the eastern seaboard of the United States. We'll start with Umberto. Umberto, as of 5 p.m., was at 21.9 north, 57.0 west, winds of 60 miles per hour, but I think it's a little stronger than that. Based on the satellite, it looks like it's almost a hurricane. Moving northwest at 6 miles per hour, that should curve west-northwest, and then eventually northwest and north, likely remaining out at sea. However, just like Hurricane Erin, they're cutting it close to the Outer Banks and Bermuda, and it should be a Category 3 hurricane by Sunday and Monday, although if it rapidly strengthens, which it might well do, sometimes they skip Category 3 and they become Category 4 hurricanes like Gabrielle, or Category 5 hurricanes like Erin. The great thing about Erin and Gabrielle is they remained out at sea for the most part, and hopefully Umberto will as well. There's the visible before the sun went down. Note the bursting convection. That's called a central dense overcast, or CDO. And see this little gray spot? You see this right here? That's what we call an eye-type feature. Notice that it almost looks like the eye of a hurricane. So Umberto is looking pretty better. Notice here some of the wind shear from our system over Hispaniola is shearing Umberto, although it's starting to fan out a little bit, a sign that the environment is getting better for strengthening. Now here's our system 94L, and this is a lot of heavy rainfall over areas there of the Mona Passage. Between Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, there's this water here is called the Mona Passage, and there is a lot of heavy rainfall and gusty winds. It doesn't look like there's a low-level circulation yet, but there could be something at the mid-levels. Kind of see a little spin in there, but this is all going to kind of spit itself out north of Haiti over areas of the Turks and Caicos Islands and the southeastern Bahamas, and it is a high likelihood for development. Now here's the European ensembles, and I wanted to show you, they show Umberto move out, but then watch our other system here. Some have it impacting the Carolinas, some have it impacting Florida, almost all have it over the Bahamas, and then some turn it out to sea. In fact, one of the tracks that some of it shows is coming up through the Bahamas, getting close to the east coast and then hooking right as it interacts with Hurricane, what by then will be, and maybe by the time you see this update, Hurricane Umberto. Note, it also shows another system spinning up here in the central Atlantic. Now, these are a closer view of the ensembles. That black line is kind of the consensus, which shows a northwest motion and then kind of a stop as it gets left behind here. Does it get swept out in the wake of Umberto? Does it kind of mosey on back towards the coast? Does it get shoved into the coast? Too soon to say, although the GFS ensembles, again, there's a lot of members here that take it into the Carolinas. So if you are in Hilton Head, Myrtle Beach, if you're in Tybee Island, Georgia, if you're in Cape Hatteras, keep a lookout on the tropics the next few days, just in case. Here's a close-up look at the European, and a few of them, when you're looking at these colors, the greens and the blues are very weak. But when you get pinks, those are potent hurricanes. Those are winds getting up there towards 120 miles an hour. And there's a couple that slide it right into the Carolina coast in about 5 days as a strong hurricane. So while we don't know for sure if that will happen, that is not a good sign. Look at the GFS ensembles. This is not a good sign, hooking the system back west, which is a possible interaction. Umberto moves this way, this system kind of hooks back west, especially if it gets left behind and you have a rebuilding high pressure ridge to the north. If that rebuilds in, the system will kind of get shoved back in. Florida, you are not out of this at all, although a lot of the models want to take it further towards the north. So again, I'd be very what's the word I'm looking for? I'd be very vigilant if I were in South Carolina, especially, and the North Carolina coast. But anybody from the Turks, Caicos, Bahamas, and the southeastern U.S., even up towards New England, be on the lookout in case this system does something. Wind shear, as I mentioned, was blowing into Umberto, but it should be getting better, and the environment north where our system will pop out over the Bahamas is also going to be pretty good, so we could deal with another strong hurricane. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them become powerful hurricanes, at least Category 2 hurricanes. What's left of Gabrielle is moving south of the Azores, still some good wind and rain with it. There's the radar out of the Azores. It's pretty prehistoric looking, but it's the Azores. And look at their heavy rainfall. So again, nasty impacts with high surf and heavy rain as Gabrielle, no longer a tropical cyclone, moves out. Again, we'll watch the tropics. Right now, there's nothing in the Gulf to worry about. Our only concern will be this feature here, 94L, as it spits out into the Bahamas. Does it slam into the Carolina coast? Does it turn out? Does it bend west? Don't know yet. One big question mark, but we will continue to watch it. Hurricane Narda in the eastern Pacific, strengthening but moving out to sea. I'm Mike Naso, and I will talk to you next time with more on the tropics.